Welcome back. I hope we have our sound issues worked out and that everybody can hear me okay. Please let us know if you can. This is my Thanksgiving edition. Many people ask me, what am I going to do for Thanksgiving with our turkey? What do we do? Well, I do something a little bit different. I'm kind of tired of dry turkey, and usually when the birds trip toll wherever I go, the turkey is a little dry. So I've adopted a different method of doing my turkey, and I'm going to demonstrate that. First of all, I want to talk about a few things. Why turkey is often dry. Do you like stuffing? Do you like dressing? Problem with stuffing over dressing is when you stuff the bird with that dressing, you mix eggs in it, and that helps bind it. It helps keep it moist. Make the taste a little bit better. But one of the problems you have with stuffing a bird is you have this chest cavity here that you stuff, and you make the bird much denser, so it's thicker. So in order to cook the stuffing, you really need to get the internal temperature up to about 175 degrees. Well, what does 175 degrees do to the rest of the turkey? It overcooks it. It makes it dry. So I don't make a stuffing. I make a dressing for that reason only. The other thing is you hear the old wives' tale about people getting sick at Thanksgiving, and it's usually because what happens is they don't bring the internal temperature of the bird up high enough, but they heat it so the turkey's cooked 155, 160 degrees. I don't know what those butterball pop-up thermometers are temped to, but if you do it that way, the stuffing gets warm. What happens when the stuffing gets warm? If you don't heat it high enough, bacteria grows. What kind of bacteria? Well, you get salmonella on the inside of the turkey, and you get the eggs in your stuffing, and never get to 170 degrees where they need to be. Okay, and then get about 140 degrees if you put your breast about 105. So what happens is that you have stuffing that incubates in the oven. Not so great. So I have a little bit where I think is a better way. It's different. When I work in hotels, you make our dressing separate. We would roast whole chickens, breastful chicken, because everybody wants to breast meat. But I do it differently from my home. And I'm going to show you how I do this. The first thing I do is I break my turkey down. I'm going to cut this piece off right here, throw it in the garbage, and I'm going to bone this turkey out. How am I going to do that? Just like you would chicken. You have this breastbone that goes right down the middle. I'm going to just gently cut through the skin to help you see where that breastbone is. And it's right about there. So I'm going to take my knife and I'm going to cut down along that breastbone all the way down to the cage. I'm going to use that breastbone as a guide. It's going to help me. I'm going to go all the way down to the wing. You can see that I went around it a little bit. That's okay. Some goodies. So I'm going to take here. You can see how I cut all the way down. Here's your wishbone right in here. I'm going to go right along the wishbone with my knife. I'm using a really big knife. You can use a regular size foaming knife to do this. Now this is just a serious chef's knife that I like to use for just about everything I do. But I'm going along the cage here, keeping my knife that's right on the bone. And I'm taking this all the way down. You can see I almost have it off. I'm going to cut the skin a little bit. Try to make that so you can see it a little bit. I'll come along with it. Okay? And then I'm going to come around, I'm going to go right around the bone of the wing, where the wing comes together. I'm going to just kind of go right on in through there. So I'm down to the wing joint. I've cut through the connecting tendons. I'm going to go right through that, right there like that. So you'll see it. This is the bone that attaches the wing to the carcass right there. I just went right through it. I didn't try to cut the bone. I just kind of slipped my knife in the joint. So I'm going to take that off. I'm going to leave that there for now. Now I'm going to do the other side. I leave the legs on when I'm doing this because it makes the turkey a little bit more stable. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to cut a little slit here, and I'm going to get started right along the bone. And I'm going to go all the way down, ride that bone. It's like my guide to help me get all the meat off this carcass. Why do I do it this way? Well, what am I going to do? Well, I don't make gravy in a traditional way. I make stock. I thicken the stock. And I get a little bit better volume. So I'm following this down, just like I talked about. I'm going to cut right through here. I'll throw that out just so we don't lose fat, don't need it. I'm going to follow this. You can see, I'm going to cut around this wishbone just so you can see it on the other side. See it right there? Maybe you can see it in the mirror. I'm not so sure how well the mirror's done. But anyway, you can see the wishbone comes right in here. So with the tip of my knife, I'm going to follow this right now along that wishbone so I can get as much of this turkey breast off the carcass as I can. So why am I doing this? Well, I'm doing it this way because I'm going to use a different cooking method for this. And it's called an immersion circulator. Cooking style is called sous vide. This is something that you're starting to see, these immersion circulators on the internet. They've gotten much more inexpensive. They've been using these immersion circulators in Europe for quite a long time. It's something that's caught on with chefs the last 10 or 15 years. But they've been using them, chefs have been using them in Europe for years. So from here, I have my carcass. I'm going to take this wing bone up, the leg off. How do I do that? Well, I'm going to go here, cut some of that connective tissue off. I'm going to come around here. I'm going to kind of work it off. That way it kind of snaps that way to separate the joint. I just basically dislocated it. And I'm going to pick my knife. And I'm going to go right through that joint, and get all of that off, just like that. And I'm going to do that on both sides. Here we go. A little bit of connective tissue. Boom. Pop the bone. Wait for it. There it is. There's that bone right there. I'm going to come right in through here. I'm going to take that off. So the next thing I'm going to do, when you're wondering, what's he going to do with this? Well, there's a few things you can do. If you like that, you can roast it off. I usually include that in my stock. What we're going to do is we're going to take this carcass. We're going to roast it in the oven for about half an hour until it gets brown. Some of the fat will cook away. I'm going to cook my wings in there with that because I think I have enough turkey here. When I did this, I left this one attached, so I'm going to go ahead and cut this one off. Just like that. Boom. So in the oven, 20 minutes, half an hour, 400 degrees, so it's nice and brown. Then we're going to do a basic stock with it. In the meantime, I've got some wonderful stuff here. I've got two breasts. I've got a leg and a thigh. A leg and a thigh. I'm going to separate the drumstick from the thigh, and then I'm going to go out the bottom. Excuse me. Allergies. Don't worry, I'm good. I'm going to go right through here. I put a cut right where the joint is. I'm going to separate that joint a little bit. And I'm going to go right arm through there. There it is. Okay. One more time. Kind of got to figure out where it is. Bend it a little bit. Got right through it. And flex it like you can see what that is. Get it right and go right through it. This thing is a little bit. Helps if it's separated at this point. You can see it right there. I'm going to cut right on through that. And there you have nice smell. What am I going to do with these? Oh, look at this. I'm going to pull these out. Chef, could you get me another pan? I'm going to pull these out. So this is your thigh. You can sous vide this whole if you want. I'm going to just, I'm sorry, I didn't see that. I'm going to leave that over here so they can see me. The bone is out. How do you do that? Well, the bone goes from here to here. There's not that much flesh there. I'm going to take and just put a slit on the one side of the bone. At home, you don't need to, again, you don't need to use a knife this big. I've just always been very comfortable with it. I'm really only using this part of the knife, or maybe when I do this, I'm getting in there that far. A boning knife, a little easier for you to manage. So I'm just basically cutting around the bone at this point. I'm going to clean that up. Now I'm going to get underneath it. I've kind of cleared enough of it out around it. Okay. I'm going to scrape this a little bit, kind of pull it down. I'm going to cut and scrape just a little bit. Then when we get down to the bottom of the bone, I'm just going to cut it right on like that. So there you have it. It's the boneless thigh. I'm going to go ahead and take and do the other side. And again, that's your thigh. Your bone's going that way, where it's not a lot between the bone and the inside of the thigh now. I'm just going to cut on each side of the bone. We'll help you take more. Just like that. Just follow the bone. Try to keep your knife as close to the bone as possible. Keep your fingers out of the way. So I'm going around it. That's it. Now I'm going to go under it. I'm just going to cut that right away from the bone. Really how easy that is. Just like that. Of course, I've done this still. But it's the same technique. A turkey is, the carcass of the turkey is the same bone structure as a chicken. It's not that hard. You take your time. If you leave a little bit of meat on the carcass, no big deal. Your stock's just going to taste a little bit better. But from here, I have this. Okay? There's the boneless thigh. Scarf meat tastes really good, right? I'm going to dip my hands in this smelling hot water and clean up a little bit. I have a couple other ingredients that I'm going to use here along with this, because we're gonna tie this. I have a little bit of sage. Maybe a little more sage. Use the fresh sage at home. If you want to use dry sage, that's okay. And give this a quick shift nod. Shift nod, cross cut very finely. When I say cross cut, because it cross the width of the leaves. Chop this up.
Pretty green is in good limit blood.
Okay. I'm going to kind of move these out of the way for the time being. I'm going to turn these up. Gloves. I'm afraid that if I leave that, they won't be able to see the cutting board very well. So we'll set that off just for a minute. If you do this, I have to clean my cutting board since I boned this out. I'm not that worried about it at home. You should clean your cutting board in between. That way we don't have to worry about cross-contaminating anything else. But since things that I'm cutting up here are all going to go in the turkey, I'm okay. We will get another board out at some point, maybe, reading on. So I'm picking time, this is fresh time. The easiest way to do this is to, here's the time, pull this way against the grain, very gently, and when leaves the time come off, you can see it's down the spirits really well. You don't need a lot of time. Again, it's very flavorful. I think the ratio of time to stage, 2-part stage to 1-part harmony. I will see stems in there, putting walks to midline. They're really soft and tender anyway. I'm going to give this a quick chop, a little bit. I'm going to mix that in with the stage that I already chopped up. With the pop just a little bit. This that juice will go in the stock too wide. Well, it's got a lot of natural gelatin, so when we make our stocking, that's going to cause a little some gelatin. It's going to be our stock, is going to make it a little bit bigger. So we're going to put that off to the side. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to get our turkey ready. What does that entail? Well, that entails a couple of things. That entails seasoning it, kosher salt, horse ground salt. You use a little food salt if you want. I prefer kosher salt, not in this. Season's pretty heavy because you can't see the inside of the meat. And doing the drums too. Salt, black pepper. You might see evenly distributed.
Be simple.
Just like that. Herbage. Kind smoke and triplet. Okay, that's legal. We say. I'm going to sprinkle the thyme and the sage over my bird, mostly underneath. Let's get it. Really ocean warm. So I probably have 3 tablespoons. This is about a 21-pound bird. I probably have 3 tablespoons of herbs, chopped up maybe 4. We're going to flip this over. I'll let you cap this in a little bit so that herbs is here a little bit. You know, that moisture that's on those is going to help that process a little bit. So they don't, massage in here, they tend to fall off when you flip them over. See what it did too long. So I am going to eat this too. Flip them over, a little salt, corn with a billow, keep the thing on, flavor, especially with this cooking method. See the drumstick. Nice, even, black pepper, robust, flavors. Gotta love it. I like a little pepper in my food. This is not enough pepper to make it spicy though. Alright, so these are well seasoned. What am I going to do next? Well, I'm going to trust these flavors. I'm quite sure where my string is. Oh, there it is. Butcher's fine. Basic whole butcher's fine. We've had this stuff around a long time. I think we don't trust a whole lot here. As you can imagine, you turn out open for Thanksgiving, we want to cook too long. So I'm gonna cut this. I want to make sure I have plenty. Let's go about 3.5, 4 feet. I'll do the breasts first. Now, there's 2 ways to do that. And I hope everybody can see this, all right? I'm gonna thrust these breasts together and cook them together. Now, with the breast, you have the thicker part and the tail part. This is quite a bit thicker. So I'm gonna truss these in a fluting manner. The thick parts there, I'm going to use the other one, and I'm going to put it together like that, so the thick parts will be at the other end. With the idea of creating one big piece of meat that's maybe equal thickness on each side, that protein could be aided, but really with the technique that we're going to use, it's not going to matter. So, how do we tie a breast? Well, you start off with the big old lump, just bring the hook here is long enough. And I'm going to take it, here I'm going to run it underneath here. Tie it up to so I'm going to tie a loop around it right there. You know, I tie it as nice and tight. This first knot is important because we don't want this to slip. I wasn't a Boy Scout, so I never mastered knot tying. So what I have here is I have a loop basically. From that point, I'm going to take my finger, and I'm going to hold my finger there, and I'm going to run it underneath. Like that. Pull it through. Why am I doing it? Look at the way you do it. That loop, I'm going to run this tooth spring through here. Up, under and up. Around. And up.
Like that.
I'm pulling that through. See how I created that loop? And it's going to help me trust my bird. And I like plus. See that? So I'm going to pull that kind of down. What and the type is what this bird is called the dough type. So I'm going to take my finger again. You can go that way if you want. I find that it's better to go in the same direction every time. Under the breast, under your fingers, still holding it. Pull it through. You created another loop. Now you want to tighten that up a little bit. Do that, breathe. See how it's that's it all together. Focus. You put right up the cells a little bit. And then we're going to do this again. Up under. And at this point, you want to make sure you hold it tight. See how I did that? What's going to look right here again? It's going it through nice and tight. Because I don't want this to be too loose or it just come apart. You see how snug, it's nice and snug. I'm going to do this one more time. I don't have a lot to tie together when I'm doing this in. But I just want to make sure this will help it cook nicely. It can kind of melt together when you do this. I don't really know if that's not used like I told Dennis. I wasn't a Boy Scout. I never learned how to tie cool knots. So I'm sure there's a lot of people out there better than me at tying knots. When you get it just cut this through, tie this off, you'll hopefully find out a hole. And for a little push, a little bit cool, money, long. Wherever, Lemon, holding it down on the top, pretty good right there. So there you have it. It's tied together nicely. Could have been a little tighter right there. I think it's going to be okay. That's a thing. Oh, it's least because it's split for which of the grip. So I'm going to pull this back. This is under. So that's fine. That looks really good here. So the next thing, we're going to set that off. We're going to do the same thing with these sides. And this is really cool because this part is really good. We're going to roll these like that, and then we're going to tie. I'm not going to do all of this right now. I'm just going to do the thigh. I've got it straight across. I think you've got the general idea and what I got going on there. I'm going to need another piece of twine. This one won't need to be as long because the thigh's not too thick as the breast is. Just going to cut that off like that. I'm going to bring that over here and lay this across the board. Set my thighs over it. Overlap a little bit.
High, five, forward.
I'm going to try to tie a cool knot. Slide in here. Up and under. Bring it up a little bit. Sometimes you really don't want to slip.
Watch it. Yeah.
I would love it. Just that. Boom. Yeah, got my nice and round. This time I'm going to go for it. We'll do it again. Maybe you could see that a little different. Let's take my just out there. I'm going to hold that back. Leave around 5. Look at going up and under there. Bring it up.
Back louder.
Pull that through. What's that?
Up lower.
I'm sorry if I'm not quite loud enough. So I'm going to take, you can see that screw there again. I'm going to snug this up a little bit. More to go again. Up and under and through. Through we go. Pull the string through. On the thigh, I'll be a little bit closer together because it's a smaller piece of meat. I'm going to put one more time of beef here, maybe twice. And just one through at the end. Just like that. I'm going to go one more time, just because I can. Little tight it off. Once you get the rope so off the pair, if you want to get it off the ring, and just to back it up. You're almost tied that up. Just to you can see, let's get, you can see where I've crossed the quads. Yeah, it's not full. That actually feels a little too aggressive, I think. I'm just going to tie this off the best I can. Under and through.
Ready?
Sit up. That's trust for you up. If you can, where I went through, and that's an under. So that's like that. So it's kind of ready to go. So I would do the other side that way. Then we're going to cryo bag. Oh, well, anybody that has a food saver machine, it's really easy to do it with big saver machine. I have my thigh and my breasts, my two breasts together. And I'm going to wipe this off a little bit. I don't know if I want to change this out right now.
Drop. Word. Telling me.
Do you have the box for that? Oh, there it is. All right, so I cleaned my board off a little bit. Yes, I am dipping my hands in water that's 155 degrees. So I want to talk about emergency circulator. I've never used this brand before. It came yesterday. I have one for the restaurant that we use. It's more commercial grade. I bought this one for my house. $75. I think I got it from that online retailer that the stock costs about $6 a share. Walmart probably has it. I don't know what it's manufactured. I kind of stay away from Chinese stuff right now. Of course, I'm getting a little political. But this is an emergency circulator. This is it right here. It has a little clamp Not sure if you can see it. It's got a little clamp. It's leaking because I took it out of the water. That clamp will clamp onto a pot. We have a big camera right here that we're using. And you adjust this thing. Oh, that's the weakness. So it doesn't work so well for a camera with a lip because the clip doesn't open up. That's the first issue. You can get cameras without lips that will work, or you can just use a pot, a stainless steel pot, clip it on the stainless steel pot. You just don't want to submerge the whole thing in water, but these work really, really well. The advantages to these, they're very precise, very controlled printing process. You can set the immersion circulator to 150 degrees, 145 degrees, 148 degrees. Some chefs in town use immersion circulator when they're starting their steaks and meats, holding their fillets. I stick with that 180 degrees. Doing a quick sear on plancha. Plancha's something that's 800 degrees. Sear it, boom, top, bottom, get caramelization, season it up, send it out. Very, very popular, very juicy. You don't get as much of that thick brown layer, and a little bit much more deep. So, haven't done much with that. Don't have it go up and appropriate a wood burn grill on the flame. So, get one of these, $75 on the internet. Has some guidelines on the side I like. See what's the tip? Poultry dark meat, 149 degrees for 2 hours. It says poultry white meat, 140 degrees for an hour and a half. Chicken, turkey, duck. That's scary though, because you don't cook your turkey at home that much. I do it at about 148 degrees. So anyway, we're going to move on to the next step. We'll talk about this a little bit closer together. Cryovac bags. My sous chef has been kind enough. This is just a food saver bag, I believe. You can buy these at Costco pretty cheap, along with the regular food saver cryovac machine, or they call them food preservation. Upfront doesn't like these because it's a way of preserving food and robbing, starving it of oxygen that it needs to develop. And they don't like them. They like these products. They did have and you can do that, and I expect it'll be fine. Yeah, I felt like it's double check. I'm going to go ahead and take this truss together. I'm going to put it in this tag. And I'm going to slip it in there, just like that. I'm going to let it settle down at the bottom of the bag. Look at that. Okay, I have my wonderful, wonderful Hamilton hook machine. Cryovac machine for vacuum sealer. But I don't think that. I'm going to open this up. I'm going to put the edge of this in here. I'm going to close it.
You like to open it, like to take that full of it.
And I'm going to turn it to seal. I'm going to start. It's going to make a little more sense to suck all the oxygen out of this bag. Here we go.
Wait.
It's very important that your bag is sealed well, because if you have a hole anywhere in the bag, your vacuum will not suck all the air out. Your vacuum kind of pull together. Doesn't have to be 100% perfect. No, but you want to get all the air out of it. So you want to make sure when you seal the edges of the bag up, that you do that. So I just try to have that at the point where I like it. And the reason why you do that is because of the oxygen. You don't want oxygen in there, and I'll explain why in a minute. Each perfect. That's perfect. So it stops when it sucks all the air out, and it seals it. I think we're done.
But
So you can see almost all the air is out of there. It's just sealed. I'm going to have to do it again. So here we go. Maybe I gave up on it too soon. I'm going to hold this down.
we got pee.
And it's going to slowly suck the air out of there. You can see it shrinking up. Bag is shrinking, it's sucking it in against the friendly grass. There might be a new seal on our machine.
There's no pee in here.
The pump's working hard. It's sealing. Hopefully we'll get this seal on the back. Anyway, you got the general gist of it. The Food Saver vacuum sealers are pretty good for this. You can use it. Other brands out there that are doing it. We're having a problem with our bag sealing out there. I'm not quite sure why. Mission control would never call. I'm going to give it one more shot. Check, got any idea why it isn't sealing up?
Flip the bag over.
What?
Flip the bag over.
Flip the bag over this put the texture side up. Hopefully that'll work a little bit better. So you want to make sure the bag is even over the seal. And then you just go for it.
I'm there.
Here we go again. It's working a little bit better this time.
The texture side is air channels.
Oh yeah, look at that, it's sucking it right out. Much better. Much better. Yeah. Okay, here we go. We're going to hit the manual seal button. Or should I just wait?
Hey,
Chef says wait.
I'm not.
Kind of boring. Maybe we should play a little rock and roll.
I'd hit the button now.
I'm going to hit the manual seal. I took all the errors out of it. Oh wait, it was ready.
He,
You know, it's funny, it's still why it's not going through. Even when you press manual seal. Mission control, I think it had a problem. My vacuum machine is not sealing the bag. There's that cone, real sealed, nice, this one's not working. You can see I don't have to see it. Good thing I have another one of these there. So anyway, we'll move on. Sorry that didn't work. So normally you use your vacuum seal, it sucks all the air out, it seals the bag. Yeah, this wouldn't get hot at all. So anyway, this is not what's wrong. You want your vacuum sealer to suck all the air out of here and seal it into the cell area. Why? A couple reasons for that. When you use lower temperature cooking techniques with the sinking machine, you can't have oxygen in the bag because it's used with bacteria growth. It's not as much of an issue with turkey that we're going to cook to 148 degrees. So I will set this to 148 degrees. And we'll leave it. What's the beauty of doing this? You can right back this, put it in your water bath at 148 degrees. It's going to be done in about probably 2 hours. But you can go to lunch, you can go shopping, you can do your nails, you get your hair trimmed, smoke a little weed, have a couple beers, any of that stuff. Oh, I forgot about the turkey. It's 4 hours later. It won't overcook because it can't. It's going to hold the internal temperature and the temperature of the turkey right at 148 degrees. It can't dry out that way. You can leave that in there for hours and it will eat the same. What I do is I take it out 10 minutes before ready to eat. You can fire up the broiler in your oven and you can brown the outside of it. We could put it in a large sauté pan and brown it that way. Sometimes I'll grill it before I put it in this bag, or do it that way. In your water bath for 2 hours. The same with the thigh. I have a turkey from last Thanksgiving in my freezer. It's still cryovac beautiful. That's kind of sad. That's how much I ate that one. That's the deal with sous vide and immersion circulator. Starting my vacuum machine's not working very well today. I really wanted you to see what that looks like when it's completely sealed and there's no oxygen in it. Any of you that have a vacuum sealer at home, you know what I'm talking about now. But it's important, like, turkey is not as important to not have any oxygen in there. If you're doing beef tenderloin, which you want to be at 120 degrees, health departments like cooking things at that low temperature because it's below the threshold of 140 degrees they want to put bacteria externally. So if you want to cook a fillet, if they cook fillet this way, take it out, flash it in a hot pan, get color and eat it. It's not long, but it's really a good cooking technique. Especially for those of you that don't get afraid that you're going to overcook, undercook stuff, you can just raise the temperature when you get it, and eat it that way, then zero. That's about it for today. I'm sorry that I was a little late. We've been having problems with sounds. I'm not quite sure what call this, but it's the reason my wife's phone rang. I just want to wish you all a happy Thanksgiving and give you a chance. Any cooking questions about Thanksgiving? Yes, you check to see if there's any questions. Stuffing. Hey, I make my stuffing. I use leftover breast in the restaurant that's grilled off, a few eggs, a cup of chicken stock, some chopped up vegetables, and some sage, some thyme, some garlic that I sauteed a little bit. Works pretty good. You can do the same thing. And actually, you can put your stuffing in a vacuum bag and stick it in the immersion circulator also. 150 degrees. I would turn it up and cook a little bit further before I cook their eggs. But maybe just put it in the frolic links at a time. Any last minute Thanksgiving cooking questions? Don't stuff your bird. It's not worth it. Everybody likes that. Use some chicken stock, make your stuffing separate from your bird, season it up. I promise you can make it taste good or even better. With mine, I have my turkey stock that I do with the carcass. When I go to make my stuffing, I use some of that turkey stock on the stuffing to give it great flavor. I don't think stuffing bird and doing that makes your stuffing taste better and get good. Actually, think you have more flow doing it again and that way. Any last minute questions?
I don't think so. Ann got a
immersion circulator. So,
Awesome. You can also look it up on the internet. Plenty of people are doing this. These manufacturers have websites, but it's simple, and it's a lot. Once you get to this point, it's a lot less time consuming. Oh, if you don't want to phone out a bird like this, go buy a turkey press. A lot of times they're even already cryovac. You might be able to just dump that in there and do it that way. I recommend doing this, steeping it the way you like it, and then dropping it into warm gas. About 2 hours at 140 degrees is really good. Take it out, put it out of the bag, sear it off, boiler or just a frying pan, good to go. That works really well for a small family. About going for 2 or 3 people. A little bit more of that going on this Thanksgiving than normal, I hope. That'll prevent the spread of COVID. Anyway, any last second questions before I go? All right. Thanks for tuning in, Sam. Sorry for the delay. Have a great Thanksgiving.